All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the FrostCast. Ice King here.
Hi, I'm AJ.
Hi. We tried to do better intros, and that's what we came up with.
That's it. Yep.
First thing I want to get into, I meant to give this to you last week, but I have a Christmas present for you.
Okay. What is this?
It's a Gundam.
Oh yeah, I know it's a Gundam.
For everyone listening, it's a real grade 00 riser from Gundam 00.
I don't know what real grade means, but it sounds fancy.
Real grade is, you know, the thing to open? Yeah, here. Real grade is like not, it's above entry level. So entry level is like high grade. Then you have master grade, which is like the big one over there on your left.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine that big one, like the same amount of parts, but shrunk down to the small size.
Okay.
So it's got small parts.
There's a lot of parts in it.
Yeah. I actually,
Well,
there's a different color of it. It's the pink one I have down there with the giant ass sword.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that. All right.
So yeah, it was supposed to be. You know how to close a box? There you go.
Yes, I know how to close a box. Thank you.
Yeah. But it was supposed to be last week. I literally had it sitting there, and just as soon as you left, I looked down and I was like, oh,
Oops.
it's still there. So I had to make a note about it.
Right.
How's the house unpacking been?
I can see they've good. We did a lot today. We had to hire a babysitter to watch all the kids, and then I can see the floor of the garage now.
That's good.
So there's going to be room for the table soon. We did all of my wife's stuff today, which is a majority of it, and then boxes of
models. Boxes. And he's not exaggerating. Boxes of models.
Yeah, so to give you an example, I bought a store out of all of their War Machine stuff a few years ago. Including paint. So I have a P3 paint rack almost completely full. At the time, it's dwindled obviously over the years. And basically, I don't know if anybody goes to Costco or Lowe's or Home Depot, but you know the black bins that they sell with the yellow top?
Yeah.
I filled up 4 of those with just the models from that store. So I got a really good deal on it. You know,
yeah.
Now it's about what legacy models are now. About 25 to 35% of retail is what I picked it up for. So, but yeah, I have like a little mini store in my garage. So
I was
a lot of stuff
over there the other day. I was kind of looking through it. I kind of like that. Like that.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Kind of like thinking you can just browse. Like you go to your friend's comic collection, you're like, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, but War Machine models.
Yeah, War Machine models.
And some Warhammer stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I can see the floor again, so that's good. And every part of the garage is accessible, so I'm able to access my models so we can play. Which we're going to start playing on Wednesdays on War Table.
Yeah.
So maybe stream that.
Stream that or throw it up as just like a VOD dump.
And obviously, yeah, I mean, War Table's obviously not as exciting as real life, but you know, got to do what you got to do to get reps in.
100%, because that's what I need most, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we will.
I had a game I played this weekend. I posted some pictures in the TNT Discord, but like I'm almost there. I just need to do more reps so I remember all my steps.
Yeah, I think you're well, we'll get into it.
Yeah,
we'll get into it.
But on my side of things, I have been painting the Orgoth. We have those pictures. I have the base, the primer's done, and the gloss black base coat, and they're looking sweet already.
They are. Yep. And we've chosen the arms, so we're not painting
3 extra armies.
3 extra arms worth of jacks. So
yeah, hoping to do the gold this week, then maybe the clear red over the weekend, and that'll be that. And I can get into the hand painting, and then we're just kind of set. I'll have to gloss coat them, so that way if either of us messes up on the hand painting, we can just wipe it away.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And then my Dusk have been untouched because of Orgoth.
Well, you know, they're not out yet, so you know, they're not that priority. Like I'd say if they were going to be out before Bokor, I'd be like, yeah, you should probably get those painted up, and then like immediately as soon as it drops. I think it drops the month of Bokor, which means it'll be at the end of the month.
The box drops the month of Bokor.
The art box, yeah. So maybe, but right before Bokor, you could have it, and we could build it at Bokor, and we could get a couple reps in.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm only going to buy one, because I think I'm only going to need one, and I'll pick some units.
That's fair. Yeah.
Orgoth, you do need it. You did. We ended up needing both now.
Yeah.
Because of the siege.
Yes, because of the siege.
But yeah, we can get into the next big topic, the character jacks.
Character jacks, yes. So those rules dropped, and they are really good.
They're really fun.
So I'm curious though, right? Like, so they're so good that they might be extremely expensive.
Like
Points
20
wise.
plus points.
Yes. And if they're in the 20 plus point range, I don't know if they're playable.
Most games are at 100 points. And
right.
We saw at Capsicon, a lot of lists are just 5 jacks. So you'd probably be able to you change out one of your jacks and maybe drop 1 or 2 support units. And and that's where it's going to be. Does that jack provide enough coverage of what that support unit did?
I don't know.
Yeah.
With the rules out right now,
so we'll go over. So we got Signar.
So we got Signar coming up first. Obviously, Matt 8, so he's hitting all day long. Rat 7 is surprising. I'm curious to see.
Does he have a gun? What does he got?
He's got a range 8, power 14, galvanic blast or whatever, right here.
Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, the power 19 sword is really good.
Gonna rip through everything.
He has accumulator, which means he's going to start with 2 focus every turn because there's no reason not to have a guy next to him. Yeah. More than likely a mechanic, then the mechanic's going to charge him up to full. So he's always going to be on 3 focus. He's got the polarity field, overtake, and righteous vengeance, which is, I think righteous vengeance might be his best ability because that's going to give him that extra movement to threat even further.
What is righteous vengeance?
So it's usually when a friendly warrior model or friendly model in whatever 5 inches ish, depending, you'll get the vengeance move.
Okay.
And at the beginning of your turn.
And that's a move and a swing?
Sometimes I have to reread Righteous Vengeance, but Vengeance was move and swing. But I think this is going to be used more for move than charge. So it's basically like 3 inches extra charge range. So I assume he's going to move probably 5.
Yeah.
A charge to an 8. Vengeance move puts him at 11. I can't see that sword being 1 inch.
No,
so
it's a big sword.
So you're looking at 13-inch threat, which is pretty beefy when the jack comes at you with 3 focus.
And power 19.
And power.
It's swinging.
Base power 19. Yeah, it's swinging at Mat 8. It's going to hit a bunch of stuff.
We love that. I wasn't impressed by the looks, but that is going to be...
No, definitely this is my least favorite looking one.
It's just because it's the least different.
The only cool thing about him is the sword. Because the other arm, it just looks like the power fist to me. Obviously, it's a little bit different with a little extra
glows. I wish they did those bubbles on the whole model.
So you know what I wish? I wish it would look more like Thunderhead.
Yeah,
instead of the bubbles, the coils are coming out, and people might have been like, no, they're not doing that anymore with the Thunderhead. But I really like the way the Thunderhead looked, where he was like extruding coils.
Yeah,
and just
very,
punched the shit out of people.
Yeah, he looks very like Nikola Tesla, like.
Right. Yeah. This looks more futuristic-ish, but you know,
in line with the rest of them.
But I don't know, least favorite so far, without a doubt.
Are you gonna get it? Because you have a little bit of Signar?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's only the arms.
Huh?
It's only the arms. So
it's only the arms and the head, yeah.
You might as well just get it for like $13 and paint it up.
Yeah, might as well.
Alright, on to
my guy. Yeah, so this guy has caused some stir. I don't know if you've read some of the stuff about him on the internet. So it's Moloch, the Orgoth guy. So basically he can collect souls and negate enemy spells, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But he's got to get those souls first, which he doesn't seem to have a ranged weapon. So, meh.
Double melee.
Double melee. And also it depends on his soul collect range. Some people are like, 5 inches, some people are 2 inches. So I'm going to guess it's probably going to be 2 inches because he's such a beefy jack. But if it's not, awesome. But the reason people are talking about this is he's got the Gates of Hell. It enables him to spend a soul token to teleport 4 inches.
Oh.
So, it doesn't say on this that ends his activation. So, charge.
It just says once per activation.
Once per activation, place anywhere within 4 inches of its current location after destroying an enemy model with Abysmal Mace. Charge, destroy something, teleport 4 inches next to a caster or another piece. Because, you could charge an infantry guy.
Yeah.
And then their heavy jack could be shielded, like bubble wrapped.
Yeah.
And now you're 4 inches and now you're engaged with their heavy jack.
You just kind of hop over their line.
Yeah. So, with a rule like that, I think it'll probably be, end its activation, kind of but I don't know. If it's not, he's really good.
He could set up some cool
lines. Set up some cool lines, yeah. And then like if you're guarding like your caster, not even caster, but like an expensive solo, he just walk behind it, like teleport behind the unit, and then start laying waste.
I mean, it could be just they might just let it be a thing because then it's on you to like position yourself so you can't teleport. He can't land there.
Yeah, because then you're gonna have to like double bubble wrap things. So.
You can just space your models out and you can't land.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, you're right. But if you don't, then that's like that 1-4 inches, or he just teleports out of combat.
That's fair.
You know, or teleports in different directions, so now you have to move your army. I don't know. He creates a lot of questions for your opponent. I think
because he could already. What if he already had a soul token on him, wet charged, beat a thing up, didn't kill it, and then just tellied out.
Yep. Or he could, depending on how this works, if you already had a soul token, teleport, and then basically that's 4 inches extra in his charge.
Yeah.
And he could hop over models. I assume he's going to have Unstoppable, just because of he's a character jack.
Yeah.
But maybe not. So
even if he doesn't, you could just card him.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm really excited about him. I love the way he looks. I love that claw.
That is nice.
That claw is like, that looks like a beefy claw, and the size of it on his body, it's like
they don't say the power of everything.
They don't, because it's probably still in testing.
Okay.
But I don't see that mace being less than a power 19.
Yeah.
I could see it being a power 20.
It'd be cool if the claw had like a drain focus feature. I don't think it will, but it almost looks like it could grab something and pull it out with the runes on it.
Yeah, like suck its power.
Yeah,
I like that.
And that'd be like funny if like you went up to a red check that was sitting on focus. You're like, gimme, and just start beating it into him.
Yeah, I hope you playtesters are listening, because that sounds like an awesome ability to add to him.
They're not yet, but maybe one day.
One day, yeah.
That defense bonus on him. Do you think that'll ever be used a lot?
So
what's their base defense?
I foresee him being defense 11.
Okay.
And I can't see it being more than a +2 defense. So defense 13. Then you're in like slightly above average range, you know?
That only matches you to the Signar Jack. The Signar Jack was base 13.
Right. So maybe he's like defense 12, and then that pumps it up to 14. Then it might be worth it.
Yeah.
But I think anything below a 14 is not necessarily worth it, because most things in the game now have mat 6 or 7, and that means they're going to be hitting on 7s and 6s at 13. Sense. But if it goes above that, because there's some spells that can get him there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wouldn't say I would never use it, but I don't think I'm using it as much.
That's not your main idea.
Right, because I'd rather hold, if I was like down to 1, I'd rather hold it to try to negate a spell.
Okay.
You know, just to have that on there.
And we're going into Mama Bear.
Mama Bear.
Mama Bear.
Yeah, I mean, that's what she is. So these claws look amazing.
Yeah.
So I love the Wolverine look on them. Again, see, here we go, mat 8, which is most everything now.
Yes.
Speed 5, okay. You know, average speed, and shield guard built in. And I'm gonna assume that these.
That's canon. It fits.
Yeah, that fits. I'm gonna assume these fists look like they have shields on them. So we're probably looking at an armor 21, 22 jack. Those look like shields to me. Because look at the light Orgoth.
They're big enough.
They're big enough to be like +1 shields.
Doesn't Kato have an old jack that kind of went with double in the middle?
Yeah. So well, they had the double shield jack, which made him armor like 24. But once he attacked, all that armor.
Yeah.
But still, I see this being a base 22 armor jack.
I mean, thematically that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mama Bear protects.
Mm-hmm.
I know the people don't like the name Mother Bear, but I'm like, it's so goofy. I love it.
Yeah.
It feels War Machine.
It feels right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say it. Feels right.
It feels very War Machine.
Yeah.
And War Machine like sometimes needs a little bit of like not so seriousness to it for it to feel like the steampunk game that we know.
Yeah. So obviously the other big thing is they're power 18 a piece. Buckler means +1 armor, so 22 armor. But the big thing I like, and I love this ability, chain, attack, grab, and smash. So that means, I don't know if you know what that means.
Explain.
So if you hit with both of your attacks, you get to do a 3 power attack.
Oh, okay.
So it's usually a throw, a headbutt, or you can't do a slam because you got to move with the slam. Something else. But either way, you're either headbutting something to knock it down, or you're throwing it to get it out of your way.
For free.
Yeah.
And you're mat 8, so you're hitting.
Yeah.
You're getting the free attack basically all
Especially if you're going against another jack that's probably like defense 11 to 13.
Yeah.
Like you're hitting on 5s. You know what I mean?
Easy peasy.
Yeah. and then you knock it down, and you can either finish it off or, go do something else with it.
Yeah, just exist.
But this still doesn't make me want to play Khador, but...
Oh, I'm buying that.
Okay, good for you.
I'm not playing Khador, but, like, I will 100% go buy that and paint it up. And, I already stopped painting the arms for...
Because of this? You're just going to do that?
I'm just going to paint those.
That makes sense, yeah. You just have that model.
Yeah. Now we're going into my favorite.
So, I'm not going to lie. It's my favorite, too.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. The whips.
They look so cool.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going to come out with the resin. Because if they're going to do, like, almost like flame effects on it. Because that's what it looks like. And that would be so cool printed.
Yeah.
Obviously, it'd be even cooler if they printed it in clear resin. I know they won't. But if it was clear resin, that would be a fun time.
I don't know. You could ask them. They do have clear resin.
I know, but they probably won't.
No,
yeah. Because if it was clear resin, I would do a clear effect and mask off the other parts, then paint the rest, and that would be sweet.
So mat 7, rat 7.
So lowest mat of the group.
You're still hitting.
Yeah,
right?
And it can shoot well though.
Yep.
That's better than the other jacks.
So it's got a range 12, power 14 spray. Not bad. I don't care for sprays. I think sprays are the weaker of the ranged attacks now. Of basically AoEs.
But the ranged attack allows it to remove damage.
Right.
So it hits a living troop and just says, "You're mine."
Yep. Yeah. Kind of like Exected Soul, but probably heals D3. So here's what's interesting: range 3 blades with blessed, chain weapon, magical, crit knockdown, and drag. So it's got a lot going on with those things.
They don't say the power of it, but I expect power 18.
See, I don't. I expect power 17.
Okay.
I expect power 17, and I'll tell you why. Because it's got that power 14 range attack, and they need to balance it out a little bit. It also has blessed and chain weapons, so that means it's ignoring any buffs, and it's ignoring shields.
Oh, is that what chain weapon does?
Yep. So you already have +2 against certain things.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? So I'm thinking it's 17. The drag, though, I think the drag is going to create a lot of interesting plays.
Can you drag? Do you have to drag towards you? Can you drag in other directions?
Drag directly towards you. So you're gonna, and you can use it to maneuver a model, move a model an extra 3 inches towards your line, which is pretty good. I don't like it as much as the teleport on the guy, but I think you can create some interesting plays.
Range 3. That's a big range.
Which means they're engaged, but you're not most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That is... What was that guy you had? What was the Vord Archon that had 3 range before? Didn't he get knocked down? Not the Void
Death Archon.
The Death Archon.
Death Archon did have a 3-inch with his scythe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was gross.
Yeah, it was gross.
So gross.
Yeah. Well, Death Archon was on a whole nother level of War Machine of you run him into an infantry unit and then the infantry unit just disappears.
It'd be funny if that had Thresher.
I mean, if you put 5 focus on it, it kind of does.
Yeah.
So.
But run into a mob and just
whip them all down.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's going to have double attack, so you're going to have the spray.
Oh.
So I think he's going to...
It's going to be... I mean, even just thematically, I'm probably going to run it all the time. Because it is a cool looking jack.
Yeah, it is.
And the pose they put there, that what it's going to look like, he's lean forward and back, getting ready to smack some kids with it.
Jeez. Smack some kids. Oh my God.
Everything's akin to that.
Okay, yeah.
I even like the weapon design, much better than the other heavy jack weapons. The other ones just look kind of they made them, but that's
So this one is unique, right?
Yeah.
I can't think in my head what other War Machine model has something like this. I mean, I think there's 1 or 2 other ones, but not like this.
It is very different.
Very different, because you look at this, the Khador Jack, it's fists with the little shields.
Yeah.
We've seen that before. Orgoth, a giant mace.
And giant claw.
Giant claw. We've seen that before. Striker sword, we know exactly where that came from. And then a power fist, we've seen that before.
Yeah.
But these whips look so unique and original, and I think that's what's making House Kalis separate itself. And it's just their jacks are looking so unique from everyone else.
So they're also, this one's painted or designed differently. It has, so on the normal House K jacks, they're just black and silver.
Mm-hmm.
They have purple as a secondary color on there, so obviously to make it different. On mine, I'm going with red.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like a, but I don't know what should be my secondary color. You think? Because it's black and gray is my normal jacks, but I'm not doing yellow. I'm doing red glow.
So your guys are gonna actually be on fire here.
Yeah, like that's gonna be like that is gonna be like glowing red fire basically. But I don't know what a good secondary color is to differentiate that more.
I don't think you need to. The model is unique enough.
You think my bright red will be enough?
I think so. With the whips,
yeah.
With the whip, there's gonna be so much red there that I think you'll be fine. It might be actually, honestly, so it might be too much red. So what about this? So keep all the bubbles and all the internal stuff.
Yeah.
That's red, but you might have to do a different color for your whips because you're gonna have so much red on that model. Just a thought, or maybe like a slightly different red. You know, maybe like a lighter red. Like
well, I guess it'll depend on how they're printed.
That's true. Yeah.
Because depending on how like the look of them, that could be a big thing. Regardless, I'm getting 2 of these, and it seems like you're getting 2 of these. You're getting Signar and Orgoth, so we'll have them all.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about them not including the magnets?
So, I have a ton of magnets left over, so I'm not upset about it.
Where'd you get the ton left over?
So when you buy the army box, it actually comes with extra magnets. And they even mentioned it, like, hey, you can either buy the magnets, or you can, if you've already owned an army box, which is true, I counted them, you have an extra set.
Oh.
So if you have an army box, you don't need to buy the magnets. But if you want just the model, then you're going to have to buy the magnets.
And they don't say you have to buy theirs.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they literally give you the size because they're standard magnets.
And it's a legality thing, right? Like they can't sell magnets with toys.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's, U.S. law, shippings, and whatever.
Yeah.
So, I'm not upset, because I have plenty.
And I think it keeps the price down a little bit, too. Because, like, if they did try to have to include it, it would probably jump up another $5. And it's like $5 for 3 magnets.
Yeah.
Because in the terms of them, they also now have to, when they're packaging that, they have to pay somebody to package the magnets with it.
Yep.
It's not that the magnets are expensive, it's there's a lot more handling problem.
Yeah.
Time.
Hands in the pot.
Yeah.
Yep. Labor.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like much, but when you produce
that many
100, 200, let's say conservatively 200, right?
Yeah.
That's
an extra 5 minutes per thing.
That's an extra 2, 4, 6 times 200.
Yeah.
1,200 magnets per jack. That's a lot. That's time intensive.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
I think that probably is another reason why they did that. And like the price is exactly what the old ones were. No changes.
Yeah.
What the upgrade packs were before. Except for like the old ones that no one really used.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about those.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not upset because I have plenty of magnets. Obviously.
I didn't know that about the army box. That's that makes perfect sense. Yeah, like there's a pile of magnets in here. I was like, where did you get that? I don't know.
I think I threw extra magnets,
You just have this. And there's like so many.
Oh, I know where these are from.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be in there. I think my kid threw those in there. He's playing with these magnets,
So yeah, the Orgoth one, you do need the bigger magnets.
Yeah.
So
I have those.
Okay, you have those? Yeah. So cool. But that leads into the alt poses.
Yeah, I haven't heard about these, but you said Jay mentioned
Jay had mentioned this, and if I'm wrong, he can correct me in the comments. But there's alternate poses for the jacks coming.
So what does that mean? Like,
probably going to be more angled, more dynamic.
Okay.
And his idea was he'll pick up one for the character jack, one for a normal jack, so 2 alt poses. And doing that, he can like evolve one as it goes through like a narrative campaign. So you can be like the base one, and then it got leveled up, puts new arms on it, puts it in the alt pose. Oh, cool! Became character jack.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, and that's why I only really want. I think I want to get 1 dusk box because I'll probably pick up the alt poses for the dust jacks.
Yeah. Well, I need a 4th tyrant apparently anyway.
And I was thinking for you, that's a good way to get the 4th tyrant. So that way you don't just have 4 of the same jack. You have like at least 1 different, and then you can use that to maybe do your Moloch too.
Yeah. Or just buy a Moloch. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna buy another Tyrant chassis and just hard glue Moloch on there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't want to hard glue all my jacks, even if they're gonna stay the same, because when I pack them in battle foam, you could just drop them in there in like a little 3x3 grid, and it makes moving them, and like you can make the trays for the arms super easy, and it just makes you could put more jacks into a tray now.
I guess so.
And there's less like wiggle room.
You're not wrong, but I'm just gonna do me. Yeah, I'm gonna do me. You're not wrong.
I don't have a million battle foam bags, so I'm trying to maximize the one I have for right now.
I have 4, so probably too many.
I think 2 is probably a good number for me.
Probably 2 is a good number for anyone. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, once you get so deep into the game, I'm sure you just have extra armies and bags. Mm-hmm. And like in your case, it's probably nice to have like, oh, cool, got a troll bag, Kadar bag kind of thing. Yeah, and you just have a bag of that army.
I think it's what Jason does.
Yeah, and that's what I forget the Robbie. He was like, oh yeah, when Jay goes somewhere, just tell him to bring whatever army. He just grabs that army's bag.
Yeah,
and like in terms of ease of use, that's super nice. That's super bougie. I love it. But that's that.
So pop culture and other news, anything?
No, I was gonna say the app. We're gonna go back.
The app is
full
did
launching.
not launch.
Yes, it did. It did not. Sorry.
It did, but it didn't.
It did not. They tried. Apple said no.
Is that what happened again?
So I read it here. Yeah, it's Apple wanted more security and other little codes aligned probably, just because of the payment thing.
You know what? That's why I don't trust Apple. I don't trust Apple, and here's why.
Tell me the rant.
If you buy Apple, you are okay with 2 degrees of separation from slavery. Just throwing that out there for you. Yeah, think about that.
No, you have to explain it.
Okay, so Apple, right?
Okay, yep.
So you buy an iPhone, you pay Apple.
Yep.
Where are iPhones produced? China. Who is in charge of China?
CCP.
The CCP, which believes in...
child labor.
Yes, slavery. So there you go.
So I saw this funny meme about iPhones, and it was like, the iPhones are cutting production because the workers asked for more playground time.
Oh wow! Now we're gonna get demonetized and banned from YouTube for
that. We weren't monetized anyway.
Yeah, well, we lost all of our money.
Yeah, the money I don't have anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no pop culture, no big news in other realms. Nothing for Ravaged Stars come out. Angron released for 40K. He's a cool model.
Oh, one thing did happen with 40K. For you may or may not care about this, but I thought it was amusing. So they changed so if you ever watch Warhammer TV, for painting, I do it sometimes to get like, hey, I want to paint, something random, like I want to paint this type of blue. Yeah. I'll usually go to them. Good. They're really good about it.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they changed their setup, so it's no longer seeing someone's face, it's just the hands. Yeah, so usually in the old videos you'd have like Duncan, have Duncan, and then he would like, talk to you a little bit, do his personality, and then he'd paint a little bit, and then you'd come back to his face, he'd talk to you, so you kind of bonded with him. But apparently
everyone loves him.
Yeah, that's why everyone loved him, because he built his own platform and left GW. Same thing with the other guy, the bald guy, Peachy, I think his name is, the other guy. So apparently, now they're just doing hands because and this is totally like tinfoil hat theory, but they're afraid that since Duncan is now so successful, has his own paint line, huge Patreon, huge following, that they want to take away the people's faces.
What a GW thing.
Yeah,
that's not tinfoil. That's happening.
Yeah. So, so if you want to talk about that, I mean,
Oh, that's hilarious. There's 4 reasons to...
Yeah, so people are trying to boycott GW. Obviously, they're the craptastic streaming plus service. Warhammer Plus or whatever it is.
The only reason people bought that was for the models.
Yep.
The only reason I even thought about it was for that Vindicare Assassin. Mm-hmm. That was a dope model.
That was a good model. But you had to pay for it for a year.
And I'm like, ugh.
And what, it was like...
And you only got one of the 2. You didn't get both.
Right.
And I was like, it's not even like you got it in the description. You had the option to buy it still.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it didn't come free?
No, you had the option to buy it, I think.
Oh. Well, that's a GW thing for sure.
Yeah.
But... Anyway, I thought that was funny this week.
That is kind of... that's so...
So now it's just hands painting. There's still the voice over, but it's just hands. So that's funny.
I love the tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah.
I like that. We can get into some games now.
Games, yes.
Knowledge is about to be dropped on y'all. Because I was a good learning experience.
Yes, as always, every game is.
So we played 75 points. I was Retribution, Legion of Dawn, only army, and I played against Legion, Thag 2, just tons of beasts.
Yeah, the flying.
Typical Thag 2.
Yep.
Overall, it went okay. I mistimed my feet, definitely.
Yep.
But I feel like that list was very good.
Yes.
And that was the slimmed down version of it to 75 because it's based off the 100-point list.
Yeah. So you brought 5 jacks.
Yep. Two Hydras, 2 Manticores, and Hemira.
Yep. And your caster was Helena.
Yep.
Or Helena. Is that how you say it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
The Jack caster.
The Jack caster. Then you brought 2 units of mechanics.
2 House Shield Arcanist and 1 Dester Sire.
And Dester
The
Sire.
little guy that makes you could walk through yourself.
Yeah. Which I think you didn't like, but I still think is good.
I think one of them is good.
Yeah.
I don't think 2 of them was good.
Yeah. Well, you only brought 1.
And the big list has 2.
Oh, the big list. Well, that's for the spread out more.
Yeah.
With 75, I think you're more confined to 1 word.
I think it helps because on the big list you have the horsies too.
Yeah.
And they can get a little awkward.
Mm-hmm. For sure. But yeah, so you want to go over your game and then we can talk about it?
I felt like my turn 1, I had turn 1, I moved up, I did Rhythm of War, and then I moved up a little bit more, and I was immediately threatening him. That was...
Okay, let's talk about how gross Rhythm of War is. Because I read that and I was like, this has got to be a misprint. But no, it gives all of your jacks...
just 3 inches of bonus movement.
Repo 3 plus.
So it's Rhythm of War it's 3 to cast, it is an upkeep spell. You can run all the way up. At the end of everyone's activation, everything in your battle group within your control range can then move 3 inches.
Right.
So, 5 more jacks just walked up 3 more inches.
Yeah, because you ran everything.
Yeah.
And then moved 3 inches.
And then it was immediately like, something's going to die.
Yeah.
So then he had to play this thing's going to die first kind of game.
Yep.
Which is normal. And like, I like that. That's crazy. But I feel like I almost like shooting was my jacks have good shooting, and I feel like I don't even use it.
So yeah, so in the point there, I think you had 2 options. You could have shot at him.
Yeah.
Or you could have charged him, which you did. I think the damage would have been about the same. Both ways. I think you obviously you misplayed your 1 spell to try to kill something. That would have made your focus efficiency much better because she gets the on a target.
Hand of Destruction.
You get a target, you get roll an extra die, drop the lowest, which would have helped against his defense 14.
Yeah, 100%. Right. That was my biggest thing was I needed 8s to hit everything, and that was rough.
Yeah. Also, I think you could have moved your caster up a little bit closer because you were going to kill his front line, which you pretty much did.
Yeah.
So his threat range were a little bit further than what you
It is hard because of the feet.
Yes.
So, Thag's feet, he just... full of movement, full attack, and that makes that threat range worse. And flying, just go over buildings.
I get it.
So, probably could have done my Arcanist in a good enough way where he couldn't land near my caster, and that's something I could work on for sure.
Yeah. Positioning. But you did really well, I think, engaging all of his... You blew up 2 and almost killed 1, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you did a significant amount of damage. He had 6 beasts, I think, in total, and you killed 2, crippled 1, and then on the crackback... So here's where you went wrong. I think you should have feated.
Yes.
So let's talk about when to feed.
Yeah, so Helena's feat, I was reading too much into the heal everything.
Yeah.
Not to the +3 armor. +3 armor would have been helpful, and it would have negated so much damage.
Yeah, because he hit you, like, every time he hit your jack, you had to hit it, I think, 4 or 5 times to kill it.
Yeah.
And that's like +15 or -15 damage right there, you know? And with his armor piercing on his Angelus, you get halved, and then you get your bonuses. So you would have been, I think his armor piercing is 7, your armor was 18, so you dropped to a 9, but then you would have got your bonus, which was a +3, so you'd been armor 12, so you'd have been dice -5 instead of dice -2.
Yeah.
So essentially, I think you got too wrapped up in the heal everything, and I'm like, there's no way you're gonna survive this. And you got lucky, to your credit, you got real lucky with a guy landing on like what, 2 boxes or one box?
Literally 1 box.
Literally 1 box, and I was like, Jesus, like.
And I looked over at him, I was like, told you.
Yeah, okay. But if you hadn't done that, I think he would have only killed 1 jack. So, when to feed? I think you got too wrapped up in that. I think the defensive feat, once you were engaged with him, I think you needed to pop your feet.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay, now my guys are stuck in with you, and we're tough.
Now, do you think another way to have done that would have been to, this is like going back several turns, just going up, doing an initial tax, and then just sitting on my focus, negating the 15 damage, and then, since I'm negating 15 damage with focus, heal everything up. Because I'm going to take damage.
Yes.
But I'm going to be in his face, drop all my focus to stay alive. Then everything's theoretically, obviously dice roll, I'm alive after that.
Yes.
But then I can heal everything, crack back, and then I still have +3 armor to survive another turn.
So, no, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because he's gonna overcommit to kill 2 or 3 jags. Plus, in that round, with you taking 2 of his beasts off the board, that's 2 basically. That was what? That would have been 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 less attacks.
He would have had more.
You'd have more attacks, and you basically took 10 attacks off the board.
Okay.
By doing that. Now, could you have shot maybe one of them all the way to dead? Probably. Could you have shot 2? I don't know.
Now, are you saying to shoot and then walk up and just punch them in the face?
So I thought what you were describing was you moved up, and instead of like charging him that turn you did, just stand there and just like shoot.
Yeah.
I think you would have killed at least 1 beast, maybe 2, but you would have given him control of what attacks what. When you charged him, you kind of put him on the back foot of like, and plus you killed one of his Angelises, which is a huge damage dealer for him. He would have had the control of like, now I get to pick what jacks I get to kill.
Okay.
And he would have probably killed your Chimera, which is your beefiest jack, probably.
They're all the same. They're all.
Doesn't she do more damage?
She actually is like least melee jack.
Oh, really?
Because she has 1 melee attack.
Oh.
And an open fist.
Huh.
Because she has the blade and then she has the gun on her shoulder.
I thought she had that little like disc.
That's her blade.
Oh, okay.
Her melee, that is a definitely. I don't know how I feel about that being in there. I feel like it's for the times you run into a shooting army, but like it just doesn't. I felt like another mana core would have just been better.
Maybe
because it's just you have volume fire if you're gonna shoot something. Because her Chimera is good with an auxiliary attack with Izzy. You shoot that thing twice because it is a good gun.
Yeah.
But in that case, I just didn't shoot a lot. So maybe if I was going second, and then I would have walked up, shot, rhythm to war, to like then just position him back out of his range.
So yeah, I like that play better. I like that play of move up, shoot, and then get out of his throw range.
Or even walk up, shoot, rhythm of war forward. So it's almost like I still full moved.
I don't know about going forward. I see, and then you're giving him the tempo of charging you.
So if I would have went first, I move forward.
Well, you did go first.
I know, but like a different turn. If I would have went first, I go up 6 inches and I charge, so I go 11 inches. But if I went up 6, shot, and then I went, so I would lose 2 inches, but I'd put a range of shooting out. That would be if I went second, because he's moved up.
Right.
And then I shoot, and then I think I do that.
I think so, but again, like back to the point of like win defeat, right?
Yeah.
I think don't get wrapped up in. I think the +3 armor on your feet and then on some other, because your feet is kind of like a weird. It's defensive with the +3 armor, but it's also got that weird. You know, it tricked you. Yeah.
Tricked me.
So you got to watch out for that. I think that's the most important thing when you're getting in reps and learning your casters. Like,
and I definitely think that's another thing for me as a new player. Dusk had some cool tricks. They got me. And then you tell me and you're like, that's stupid.
Well, it's not stupid. It's just I think you were betting on getting lucky and you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you had like I think your mindset was in the right place for like, yes, I'm gonna heal all my jacks and then I'm gonna be like, I've got basically double the amount of jacks, but it never works out like that. Fair. And I think it's just you lacking in the number of reps. Okay. To know that, hey, you know what? Jacks are gonna die. I might get lucky and end up on 1 box.
Yeah.
And then full heal it, but more than likely the three would have been better.
Cool.
So
now, is there anything else you wanted to cover? or did you think or do you want to move into the theories thing I have?
Oh yeah, you want to talk about the theory? Go ahead, let's talk about the theories.
So we were at Atlantis. We were kind of theory crafting and how casters are picked, and how they picked each caster for each army. It was one jack caster, one casty caster, and one troop caster. Mm-hmm. And then I was because we were talking about what's coming for Ret, obviously, because I'm always curious. I want to know if my House Euler stuff is still going to be there.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Listen, I have faith. Okay.
But I wanted to make some hard bets on.
Some hard bets.
Who do we think's coming for the Ret army? And then I want you to make some bets on who you think's coming for trolls.
Okay.
So we do trolls first.
Trolls.
Who do you think are going to be your next 3 casters for your next section?
All right. So I'm going to go with. You writing this down?
I will.
All right. Here we go. Madrak 3. Because he's just your classic caster. And he's he's an infantry caster.
Okay, so he's your infantry?
He's going to be my infantry caster. Because he's got, he did have, Bloodlust, Defender's Ward. And it was all about units, Then I'm going to go with... Jeez, I'm stuck between Grim and Jarl. I'm gonna go with Grim though, because Grim's a classic caster, Grim Angus. Version 1. I'm gonna go with version 1.
Grim Angus 1.
Grim Angus 1.
Okay.
Because he's gonna be your casty caster. Because he's gonna be shooty, he's got a lot of debuffs, and return fires and stuff like that. But man, they just released Gumbjorn too. No, I'm gonna stick with.
Okay.
But I'll call it now. If it's not him, it's Gumbjorn too. But anyway, yeah. Then I'm gonna go with Kalindra, and she's gonna be the Jack caster.
Kalindra?
Kalindra.
I'll spell that wrong, but I know what you mean.
Kalandra. Yeah, you spell it with a K. Communist. So, yeah, I think she's gonna be the Jack caster.
Okay.
So.
I like those picks. I don't know anything about them, but I like those picks.
Okay.
Because you seem confident in them.
Yeah, well, I gotta be confident.
Yeah.
We're missing, so just the ones we're missing out on.
Yeah.
Horgel, he sucks.
Okay.
He got buffed at the end of Mark III, but he still sucks. Jarl, again, I like Jarl. I want him to be good, but he never was good.
Yeah.
That good, anyway. And then Gristle. Gristle's a classic, but I don't know. Gristle and Madrak, I think, take up the same spot as the infantry caster. And
Madrak's just better.
I think Madrak is just a cooler character than Gristle. So, let's see, am I missing anybody? Ragnar. Ragnar was always...
Is that the one I started painting for you?
Yeah, you started painting Ragnar with the hammer, and I got the alt sculpt. I would like him to make it, because we have the alt sculpt, and, he looks pretty cool, but I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make me think he would make it is because he's a battle box caster. But, I don't know. Those are my predictions, though. Madrak 3, Grim 1, and Kalindra.
Cool. Is there any idea of when those are coming for you?
Yeah, before the end of the year.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, Red predictions.
Okay.
I think Ron's coming. I think he's going to be my casty caster.
Okay.
His focus 8. It's a lot of focus. I think he's a very staple Red character. So I don't see why he wouldn't. And now, this is where we get into the I don't know. I think Elira might come because she's part of the Mage Hunter group. But at the same time, people are going to be like, oh, Gareth's going to come because there's 2 Gareth models.
I think you have to have Gareth.
So you think...
Gareth is like your Madrak, or he's like the staple guy, He's the Mage Hunter assassin, he's got two cool casters.
Yeah.
I think you get Gareth too, though.
Which one's that one?
That's the Blade of Retribution. Which makes sense because,
More ninjas.
More ninjas, yeah.
Because the ninjas are definitely... They already said Mage Hunters are coming for the second part, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so there's Gareth and Ron. And then, obviously, I want to say Falshir. Duh.
No.
But the point you made... She was good before. She's going to stay good in a limited. And they're probably going to... If they're going to bring House Euler in, they're going to bring Thyron up because he really never saw play.
I'm going to go with Gorshade 4. Hail Mary. Hail Mary.
That's
Gore Shade 4.
quite...
You know why? Because Gore Shade 1 is there, and Gore Shade 4 needs to be there.
That's quite a Hail Mary.
Yes.
Because he's dead.
You know what? Whatever. I'm calling it. That's my prediction.
All right. Well, your prediction is going to be wrong. I'm going to guess Thyron. Just because you're going to need the House Uller guys. I think if they want to keep those models relevant, because they just came out, that's going to be the caster they use to bring him in. And then I hope if he gets buffed a lot. Because Helena never really saw play before, but now she's nutty.
Well, do you think she's nutty because she's actually nutty, or because you only have an option of 3 casters and she's probably your second best caster? Obviously, I think Izzy is your best.
Yeah.
I think Helena is the second best. But is she the second best because...
I think she's the second best because Jacks are so good in Mark IV.
Okay.
I think if infantry was different, Virus would be up because he has some cool infantry tricks.
He does.
Yeah. He's on the horse, and cavalry is cool. And my second list, who uses Izzy as the primary because she's the better caster. The horses are good. Cavalry is good.
Yeah.
And the birds that you're looking at for Morgoth are good.
Yeah, those are guys. Can't wait to get some of those.
So those are my 3 predictions: Ron, Thyron, and wow, I'm good at this. Gareth.
Yeah, Gareth.
Yeah, Gareth.
We agree on Gareth.
Yeah.
Ron, I could get behind Ron. I get behind Ron. But I guess we're just gonna have to.
Who do you think is gonna be your next one? Do you think it could be Ozzy? He would be a Jack caster of the 3.
Yeah,
because he had Hypnos. He had the Hypnos Jack.
I think Ozzy.
That would be. I mean, Hypnos is one of my favorite Jacks because of Ghost Shot.
Yeah, that's dumb. It's dumb, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, I go with Ozzy.
All right, that's
instead of real Gore, instead of like the Hail Mary Gore Shade 4, I'll go with Ozzy.
So his guess is Ozzy. I'm saying Thyron.
Yep,
and that's where we'll end this week's podcast.
Okay,
we'll double end.
Double end.
If you guys have any questions for us, please let us know down below. Happy to.
Oh, did you want to mention that you printed bears?
Oh yeah, the siege. Before I do the outro, you guys know we're doing the siege, and we finalized the bear size. So we're making the wall, and we're putting bears on the wall because Cawdor bears.
Yeah.
And ended up getting the right size print for him, and then I'm printing the rest of them this week.
Yeah.
And that'll be headed over to War Budgies to get finalized and painted up.
Yeah.
He's super excited. He really liked the way they came out.
Good.
They turned out good too.
They did. They look good in the pictures. So.
Yeah.
All right.
But that is the end of it. Thank you guys for listening. Any questions, drop them down below. And hope you guys have a wonderful week.
Bye.